All right, let's just get one thing straight. This isn't a sermon. We're going to treat the Bible like what it is. An ancient library filled with stories that are way stranger and honestly a lot more horrifying than the ones you probably know. So what is hiding in there? What kind of horrors are buried in the most famous book on the planet? Well, tonight we're going to pull back the curtain and dive into the seriously weird, sometimes monstrous ideas that are hiding in plain sight. Okay, first up, we're going beyond Sunday school. This is where the things you think you know get twisted.
So picture an angel. You're probably thinking of, a cute little baby with wings, right? Like something on a greeting card. Well, get that out of your head. The Bible describes something horrifying. We're talking creatures like the cherubim with 4 wings, 4 different faces, and they move like a flash of lightning. Not so cuddly.
And it suddenly makes a whole lot of sense why pretty much every time an angel shows up, the first thing they have to say is, "Be not afraid." Yeah, no kidding. If a spinning wheel of fire and eyes just appeared in your living room, you'd probably need to hear that too. The creepiness is even baked right into the language. So there's this sacred name for God used in the Old Testament, Elohim. Here's the weird part. The word itself can mean God, but it can also mean gods, plural. And it gets really unsettling in the 10 Commandments, which warn against having other Elohim before me. It's like the book itself is admitting, hey, those other gods, yeah, they're real. Just don't worship them. All right, let's go deeper. We're heading into the old world now to look at the actual monsters. Let's talk about the Leviathan. This thing shows up all over the Old Testament, described as this massive sea serpent. But how massive are we talking? Well, some Judaic lore puts it at, get this, 300 miles long. 300. That's not a creature, that's a living mountain range. It's just completely beyond our scale. Now think back to the Garden of Eden. The serpent, right? The one that tempts Eve. What if that wasn't just some snake slithering on a branch? There's a theory that the serpent was actually the Leviathan. Just try to wrap your head around that. Humanity's fall wasn't caused by a snake, but by a cosmic 300-mile-long sea dragon. And it wasn't just sea monsters either. The Bible gets shockingly clear about what was walking around on land. And I mean, this isn't a metaphor or some flowery language. Genesis 6:4 just comes right out and says so.
These giants, where did they come from? Well, the text says they were the result of a totally forbidden union. You had the sons of God and the daughters of men. Their offspring became this race of huge, powerful, and apparently terrifying figures who were like the legends of the old world.
And that brings us to our next level down, the fallen and the forgotten. We're getting into stories of beings who fell from heaven and some really weird philosophical knots that most people just skip over. Okay, so there's this other ancient text, the Book of Enoch. It's not in the Standard Bible, but it was hugely influential. And it tells the full story. It talks about this group of angels called the Watchers. They looked down, saw human women, and, well, they fell, literally. They abandoned heaven to be with them. And it gets worse. They started teaching humanity forbidden knowledge. We're talking magic, weaponry, stuff we weren't supposed to know. And their kids? You guessed it, the Nephilim, the giants. You also find these bizarre philosophical traps. Think about Judas for a second. His betrayal of Jesus, it was prophesied. It was part of the plan all along. So did he actually have free will? I mean, could he have chosen not to do it? Or was he just a piece on a chessboard, doomed from the start just so a prophecy could come true? That's a really dark thought, and there's no easy way out of it. And for our last section, we're listening for the echoes in the dark. These are the quick, totally bizarre, and completely unexplained moments that just pop up in the text and then disappear. Okay, this one is genuinely strange. In the middle of all the chaos of Jesus' arrest in the garden, the Gospel of Mark just throws this in. A random young man shows up. He's just there following the mob. He gets 2 verses of screen time, and then he is gone from history forever. But here's the detail that'll make your skin crawl. What he's wearing. It's just a single linen cloth. Now, that specific phrasing only appears one other place in the Bible to describe burial shrouds.
The guards try to grab him, but he wriggles out of the cloth and just runs away naked into the darkness. So what was that? Who or what was he? Well, here's one really chilling theory. The Garden of Gethsemane was right next to a cemetery. And just moments before this, Jesus says the words, "I am," the sacred name of God. And he says it with so much power that it knocks grown soldiers flat on their backs. So what if that power didn't stop at the soldiers? What if it rippled through the ground, into a nearby grave, and reanimated a freshly buried body? A body that then just got up and wandered out, still in its burial shroud. And this kind of thing isn't a one-off. It gets even bigger. When Jesus is resurrected, the Gospel of Matthew says that tons of graves opened up and the bodies of holy people were raised. They apparently walked right into Jerusalem and were seen by lots of people. A city of the walking dead, basically. And then the story just stops. What happened to them? Did they go back to their graves? Did they have coffee? The Bible never says. It just drops this world-shaking event and moves on. So you've got these terrifying multi-faced angels, cosmic sea monsters, giants walking the earth, a zombie apocalypse in Jerusalem. I mean, this stuff isn't from some secret forbidden book. It's all hiding in plain sight. And it really makes you wonder, right? If all this is in there, what other secrets does the world's most read book still have waiting for us?